Hi, Andrew here with some more TrolleyCam footage, this time from a tournament, the River Arrow Classic at Redditch at Arrow Valley Park. This is the first 9 of the first round, and off we go, starting on hole 2. So there's 4 of us on the cards, myself, Peter, Matthew, who's the head honcho at Arrow Valley, and Jason, who's a very new player. I think he said at the beginning of the round it's his 4th or 5th time playing disc golf, so he's been in at the deep end. I had a slight error here in that I forgot to turn the camera on for the drives, so that was Peter's 3rd shot because he'd gone OB on his drive. And then I can't remember who's what here until we can see people on camera, so we'll just see as it progresses here. So that's Matthew, whose drive was somewhere over to the right, so we won't see him throwing his 2nd shot for a while. I think the first one we saw after Peter was probably my 2nd shot, and then we had Jason's 2nd shot, because although he went OB, the bottom division were playing OB as no penalty. This isn't a PDJ rated round, it's a fun competition. In fact, the whole series of competitions, the Arrow Valley League, is very much just to get more people involved in tournaments in an easygoing, relaxed way. So we saw Matt missed his putt there, but came back for his 3. I think I'm dropping in for a 3. Then we've got Peter getting an OB5 and Jason dropping in there for his 4. And on to hole 3, which is a 55 metre slightly uphill hole just into the edge of the woods. So I'm up first on the tee, coming off hole 1 side, disappointed with a 3 because it's a very tourable hole normally. But that shot makes up for it, so yeah, first tournament ace there. It's only taken me 10 years to get an ace during a tournament. Arrow Valley is definitely the place to do it. Lots of opportunities on this front 9, and if you're on the back 9 as well. But yes, I then offered to go and get my disc out the basket, and Matthew was like, don't worry about it, I'm not getting that far. So yeah, we've got Jason up next. He's setting in. You definitely see improvement in Jason's play as we go around this round. As I say, he hasn't played much at all. And finally we have Peter whipping his leopard up there. I think Matthew was off in the trees somewhere to the right, and I might have missed him his 2nd shot out. And that's Peter in for 3 there. And same with Matthew. And Jason following up. And then we're on to hole 4, which is a 69 metre hole, going slightly to the left. I'm just going to chuck a DX Eagle down there, which didn't quite turn as much as I'd have liked, but it's fine, it's down there, ready for a putt. Yep, Matthew puts one down there. as does Peter. I think he skips slightly up into the prickly bushes there. And then Jason. He's definitely getting the hang of his forehand there. So yes, it looks like Peter was just on the edge there. But there's a lovely out there. Yep, he should have a putt from there. Oh, and that's that's the disc coming in from someone's drive off the next tee. They must have hit a tree, picked off sideways. So, yep, Jason gets an upmo as well. So we've got Matt's second shot here. He was just on the edge of those bushes as well. There, you can tell he's an ultimate player there. And we're all on the green, pretty much. Bit of to and fro as to whose shot it was, but it looks like I got to go. So this is my second. There we go. Definitely happy with the round so far. Jason was pretty close there. So me readjusting, the camera's mounted on a trolley and it now pivots so it stays facing forwards even when I'm trundling the trolley along, but it does mean it swings a bit. I was being a bit eager to get moving. I tend to put my bag up a bit quick when I'm playing. I need to get out of that habit when I'm filming. There you go, Jason finishing off there, which puts us on to hole 5. One of the longer holes on the front 9. You start off in the trees, as you can see, and you have to get out the trees and then up a slight hill to get up to the basket, which is over a path. The path isn't OB though, so there's not much danger on this hole. So Matt's up next. And yep, he's out of the gap. I don't know, as you can tell, it's a bit too bright. We're in the shade of the woods. It's nice and sunny outside. But as I remember, Matt and Peter got out of the woods nicely. And then we've got Jason. He's settling into that forehand. And I think he made it out as well. As I remember, we will see on the next shots. Yes, so that's Peter just on the edge there. So he just needs to get up the hill a bit, over the top where there's a path, and then we've got the basket. It's a nice upshot there from Peter. And it looks like Jason's up next. He's using all borrowed discs today, Jason, so he hasn't been playing long, but he's borrowed a few discs. I think he's mostly throwing mids. He's certainly throwing a Duchess. I'm not sure what the white one was. There's a yellow Duchess in there, which he throws quite a lot in the second round. And there's Matt's up shot. So on to third shots. And we can see the basket at last. And it's me messing around with getting discs out is making the camera shake. Ah, no, I was messing around taking my jacket off. That's what the problem there was. Looks like I made it just to the brow of the hill. Didn't quite get that one in, but this is a par 4. So the course is very much parred for lower level players, beginner players. I mean, this hole really is a par 3. So that was Matt's upshot as I was moving the camera forwards. He kept putting too quickly for me, and then followed by Peter's. Have a go at a long putt there. We were all kind of having a nice relax round, I think, at this point. I quite like the fact that I'm being distracted by moving cameras. Seems to improve my play if I don't get a chance to think about anything. Just step up and throw, and I play much better. So I think this is my putt for the 3. There we go. Another birdie. Everyone just tidying up now. And we're on to hole 6, 69 metres across a bit of a dip. A nice backstop on the other side though, so you can really go for this one. Looks like I'm going eagle again, but not the DX this time. A bit too stable. I've been throwing the DX most of the round, so the champ one makes a big difference. It's not champ, is it? Whatever it is. Matt going out the other way. And me and Peter have been playing the course a bit in the last couple of weeks, so he knows where he's going. Normally goes a bit left, it's gone a bit right that time, I think. Jason maybe trying a bit too hard there, just turns his forehand a bit. All these little trees in front of the green are a real pest if you get over on the right here, because there's just, it's really thick. You're much better off going left on this hole than going right. I think Jason's now going to go kind of through, which he manages. Peter's got a tricky one because he just has a mass of small trees in front of him, which unfortunately he didn't quite get through. So fight through, have another go. Yep, I think that's up under the basket. So it's the green, which is nice and open once you get to it. So that nice backstop. And that was a long putt for me. So Matthew just finishing off from up on the slope. Can get me this back. All on the greens, hopefully all just tidying up now. Yep, nice in from Jason there. And Peter finishes off as well. Which puts us on to hole 7, which is back across the gap we just threw across, and onto a slope on the other side. So we're playing back the other way. There are lots of trees on the green on this side, so I just play a forehand to slide it up the slope if I can. Again, it's a bit of a backstop. It's just avoiding the trees that's tricky, but there is a route to the side there, which is what Matthew's going for. And the equivalent hole on the second 9 of this is playing from even further to the right, so that route on the right comes much more into play on the back 9. Jason obviously having to think about forehand or backhand there. Went for the forehand, and that's not a bad position to get to. Better to see up the slopes of the basket. It's a bit disappointing with that. Peter, there's a spiky bush right on that corner, so he's right in the spiky bush. But we weren't playing too seriously, so he got a metre relief off the spiky bush. And you can't really see the slope here, but that is quite a big slope. So yeah, I was alright under the basket. I wasn't really watching. But it was another birdie anyway, as everyone else finishes up. Oh, so close. Which puts us on to hole 8. This is a really short little hole. There's like a mound in the middle of the course, so you're playing just across the mound here. It's a really slidey surface here, so you just want to slide something up there. It's barely more than a putt for better players up here. Just a nice little controlled approach and a putt. And that went a bit off to the right there. I think Peter slid up nicely there. Can't really remember. So we just got Jason to go. Yep, goes nicely up with that forehand. There we go. Oh yeah, Matthew's off in this tree here, in the bushes to the side, so I don't think he's got much of a putt. Had a bit of a run at it though. It's my 2, so another birdie. And Jason's about where I was. I think he's got a slightly worse lie than me. Yes, he's just off to the side there. And yep, nicely in from Jason. I think that's his first birdie, certainly on this round. So nicely done. Oh yeah, Peter was right up there with his drive, so he's got pretty much drop in 2, and Matt for his 3, which puts us on to hole 9, which is a bit longer, 72 metres. You're playing from the mound across a bit of a dip. The basket's probably about the same elevation as the tee. No real danger, no OB. There's some prickly bushes to the right just as you go down the slope. As long as you don't hit anything immediately on your drive, you're out there in the open, not a problem. Certainly a 3 is eminently possible for everyone on this hole, I think. Yep, we're all out there. Showing his ultimate form again there, Matt. Finishing off. I think Matt was rushing off at this point. He putted out first because he wanted to. His family were all waiting on the fringes, helping him run the day, and looking out for people who might wander onto the course, who wanted to know what's going on. They had some information boards up there. So they were a great help during the day, sitting up there talking to people. I think by the end of the day we had some extra people signed up to the club. So, and then I'll say this, I think was the best drive I've done in this hole. So that is just a nice easy putt for another birdie. So as we started on 2, just the 1 hole to go, and we are playing hole 1 because everyone played the first 9. And then there was a slight pause, and then we all played the back 9. So here we go, we're playing slightly out of order here because I ran back to my car to get a pole because someone had a disc stuck in the prickly bushes from the previous hole. So this one is, I don't think you can see the basket's just up there on the right. So it's perfect shot. Perfect shape for my forehand basically. You just don't want to be off in the bushes to the left because that really restricts your approach. All the greens are looking really good at the moment. Mark put in a lot of work trimming and clearing back some of the branches to make it all a bit easier to get in. Generally the course was looking really good. It's nice to have an organised club going on there. The course has been in a while now, but it's never been very well looked after. So hopefully going forwards it'll be great. And certainly there's 6 more events like this planned over the summer with some varying formats. They're not all going to be just straight play. I think Peter's stuck in the bush over there to the right. So you really don't want to go in there. It's a really horrible, prickly mixture of rose bushes and brambles and hawthorn and all sorts. Anything with spikes. Oh, Matt doing a nice long putt there. Yep, looks like Peter was stuck in the bush and he's just managed to get out. Oh, I just hit the band there, hit the basket. Move up and see where I was. I think I'm pretty much under the basket. Well, no, I went slightly long. But there we go. Finishing off with another birdie. Jason finish off. There we go. And that is the round. So we'll just stick the scorecard up for those front 9. And I'll get on with editing the back 9 and get that up to you as soon as I can. But if you have been, thank you for watching. Bye for now.